to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man. So, have you driven the Familia recently?
I drive it every once in a while, you know, still a work in progress. It's still going to get onto the track and everything. It's got Swift springs in it now, so that's good. Mm-hmm. All right, so it's R33 Skyline, of course. It's a 97. It started off as a gts-t Type M. Before it had the wide body kit, probably, I don't know, 180 to 190,000 kilometers. Just kind of turned into this wide, thick thing. Kind of the perfect car to pick up. I picked it up from Alex from Checkpoint. He had basically done all the mechanical maintenance just on the stock motor and everything when it was bone stock. I took it, and then once we started opening up a lot of the seams and stuff, it was kind of rusty, you know, so ended up turning into basically a restoration. So it's kind of, I'm not destroying a car really, but I'm also restoring it in a way where it's going to look a lot better anyway. So
yeah. So as you could see, there was frost on that campfire. It's incredibly cold out now, and we're shooting earlier in the day. And the problem is, if I'm in a rush, I'm loading up the car while I'm waiting for my French press. It might be too bitter. If I do it too late, it might be too sour. And I can never gauge really how my coffee is going to taste. And I don't want to go into a car review with a sour taste in my mouth, because that might ruin the entire day. So thankfully, AeroPress has sponsored this video. And if you stick around, I'll give you access to their Black Friday sale. So it allows you to brew coffee in around a minute, which saves so much time. I'm gonna demonstrate exactly how it works right now. I've already loaded up the filter into the bottom here. The one I have here today is the AeroPress XL, which allows for 2 coffees. So as you guys saw, the grounds in here are incredibly fine, and their 3-in-1 brewing process enables you to get the best immersion, aeration, and of course, pressure. And that is the key to eliminate any kind of grit you may get in the coffee in the bottom of the cup. Give it a quick stir. And what this does is it gives you the richest, smoothest, full-bodied coffee, and then gently and slowly press it down. If you shop their Black Friday sale, you are able to get up to 20% off items on their store with the code RHODES, or you can hit the link in the description, aeropress.com/Rhodes. And of course, you guys, with the holidays coming up, this could make a good gift for those in your life who maybe go to cars and coffee events or just don't have the time to sit around and wait for a coffee maker or a French press. And of course, it's incredibly portable too. So if you know someone who maybe goes on a lot of road trips or goes camping, has a truck, outdoor stuff, I don't know, there's a lot of roads out there. Really quick coffee in under a minute. That's the key for me, especially after using the French press and trying to guess when it's gonna taste the best. This eliminates all of that. That's good. I know you guys always wanted to hear me slurp coffee on camera. Fired up now. Let's go drive. Wow, that sounds insane. It kind of has like a louder resonance to it. It almost has a rotary kind of resonance to it. Originally, if you guys remember, I filmed a video with Coleton a few months ago, and his Mazda Familia GTX, really rare, authentic Japanese car that's been kept to an OEM spec, restored, and is just clean, super clean, kind of a collector's piece. This is the complete opposite. And I love this because Coleton has motorsport kind of in his family, or at least like hard driving in his family. So you'd think, hey, why would you build a Pandem Widebody R33? Isn't that just gonna be impossible to drive? And that was not Coleton's goal. Coleton wanted this car to be drivable. So today we're gonna actually see if that's the case. I have so many questions. A lot of people would assume this car is on air ride. It is not. This is a static setup here. There's the turbo. He's put some PPF around the car, not only on the front, but of course on the rear fenders where there's gonna be potentially rock chips kicked up, especially with the R888s on here. All right, let's give her some. Coleton's gonna have a lot of fun in this, I can tell you that. Yeah, it's a nice deep sound. This is a great amount of power. Incredibly streetable, way more streetable than I would have expected here.
So the whole plan about building this car is, in my family, it's never been about building a car kind of just to put it in a show. We'll go to the shows and kind of show them off just because obviously we're car people, but the whole plan is to get this on a track, get it on the drag strip, go drift it. It's just gonna get put through its paces. So I've always wanted to build up an R33. I had an R33 years and years and years ago that got stolen out of the Colossus parking lot out in Langley. And since then, it was kind of like, when I went through other cars after that, I was like, I need to get back into a 33. It was kind of like, okay, let's do what I wanted to do all those years ago, build the dream car, which is my R33, and make it look stancy, but also slap it on the track and beat the shit out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not nearly as undrivable as an RWB is on the road. Like it actually feels somewhat still normal here. It pulls incredibly hard. I mean, yeah, once you're in boost threshold, the lag isn't too bad. If you're sitting at 4,000 RPM, that's exactly what that was. I mean, it hits you like that. It just smacks you in the face. And it's no standard gts-t Series 2 RB25 under the hood. It is a Neo engine, so it would be found in an R34 GTT, the final iteration of the RB25. And some would even say that they would take an RB25 Neo over a 26 just because of a few items there. You have variable cam timing, which the RB26 does not.
For the people who don't know Skylines much at all, R33 never came as a Bayside blue. So my favorite color being blue is kind of no-brainer. I've always done builds off of like stock block, never really opened up things. So it's kind of like let's go all the way this time. And
out of all the RB25s, the Neo is the one that is, it's the most desirable. I mean, even I'm sure you've talked to people as well who prefer the Neo over the 26 even.
Yeah, that's...
if you're going for power, which is kind of a controversial thing.
That's a funny thing you bring up because we were over at the Langley Good Time show, the BC Skyline Club, and a lot of us brought up that conversation because obviously some of us had the 26, some of us 25. And what we find is the more 26 owners you talk to, they're more trying to convert over to a 25, and it's all about reliability. So it's a BorgWarner 8374. It's running on 19 PSI right now, just on 91 pump gas. It's got CP pistons, Manley rods. It's got basically a mild street cam. I didn't want something that was too choppy. That was kind of like a cop was gonna roll by and just be like, oh yeah, that's not stock, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just got like a mild Culford cam, street cam with all the, all the valve train upgraded. The Plasma Man intake and intercooler with a 6-boost manifold and basically a straight pipe all the way back to an HKS high power. That's probably hollowed out now by how many times I've hit Red Bloater, so.
Do you still have the variable cam timing?
I do. I went and got the PRP kit, the cam trigger. Makes a world of a difference in my eyes. I've had the old stock cam triggers and had problems with them, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like that's the first thing, one of the first things getting replaced.
Yes.
But yeah, great piece. The same with I got the PRP R35 cold pack underneath the cover, of course, hidden down there. It's a little, I thought there would be a lot more leg actually with how big the turbo is. But because it's the EFR series, it seems to spool up like pretty quick. So drivability isn't too bad. I mean, you're not like stomping on it, waiting for like ages for it to boost. And when it gets into boost, it goes on strong, that's for sure.
500 wheel horsepower, and that's pretty conservative. It's still tuned on 91 octane here. and below 400 pound-feet of torque, which is crazy. Coleton said he's running the factory R33 transmission here, the 5-speed, and those are not known to hold up as much as the R34 5-speeds and the GT-Ts. I mean, what is it that can enable somebody to own and appreciate something like that Familia, drive it hard and drive it and appreciate it and hold on to the OEM characteristics, but then have a car like this Skyline next to it where he's constantly thinking about little tweaks he can make, things he can change up and improve. So to have those polar opposites, I always find it very interesting, people who are able to kind of compartmentalize their garage and the cars that they drive.
Braden out in Alberta did the what's called the body work and everything. Originally it was kind of going to be like a BN Sports style drift looking type of car. The Body Kit that you get from Driftworks, or you can buy from AeroKit directly, came and it was twisted. Every side was an inch too big. The side skirts were like probably for the wrong car. And well, they didn't want to do anything about it, so decided to go with a better kit anyways, and I think it worked out good.
Throwing shade, but hey, it's the truth, right?
Yep,
so
straight up. Yeah, so I took it out to Boost Factory. I just didn't have the space, didn't have the time with my businesses and things, so it was kind of like, okay, I'll bite the bullet and let someone else do the work for me for once. Oh. Yeah, they're a great group of guys over there. They're all super friendly and of course obsessed with JDM cars, just like a lot of us. Probably the details that you don't notice as much with these body kits is a lot of the time right where you have the riv nut holes. A lot of these will start to like bow inwards and make it a real wavy pattern all the way through. Once you're looking at it up close or even far back and taking pictures, we got reflections, it's so noticeable. So Braden smoothed it all out, reinforced each area so that when we tightened it down, it wasn't gonna buckle or do anything weird. And then he also actually straightened out the lines all the way across the whole car. Because from factory, the Pandem kit comes and it's not quite centered. If you go and look at other people's pictures and different things, or some kits that are wrapped, you can really notice the line will start to curve off from the door line, only on the kit, but basically the door line's dead level and straight. So it was a lot of work. He told me he probably blocked and sanded each fender, I don't know, like 40 to 60 times, he said. So they come with the kit. They don't come as turn signals. What they do come as is basically just like a DRL. So you could have them on all the time and they're usually just like a regular clear. Coleton over at Boost Factory decided to go through the wiring for me, thankfully. And he made them turn signals, and then he also put some strobes in them as well, just, you know, if you want to have some fun. The rear wheel, it's a 12.5 VSKF with a 335, and I believe it's a 30 on an 18. And then the fronts are an 11.5 wide on a 315, also on an 18 as well. It's definitely got some kinks to work out. I mean, an 11.5 in the front, you just feel like every groove in the road. And as soon as you're up to speed with those big set tires, you're just gonna feel it. Because right now I only got about like 3/4 lock in the front before the inner lip hits the inner body. But it was kind of expected, putting an 11.5 on the front of all things. So maybe some monoblocks next year so I actually turn all the way.
Yeah.
In the flesh for the first time, it was kind of like, holy shit, this is my car. Like, when did it get to this point type thing? It's like, well, that's where my money went, all right. But from the whole waiting experience is obviously like being a car guy, it's hell to us. We're just like, I need it now. Like, even though it'd be snowing outside, you still want your car in your garage type thing. But I'm over on Instagram, I'm Bayside Pandem, and if you guys like crappy TikToks, it's a R33 Pandem on TikTok.
Nice, man. Well, yeah, thanks for showing me around. Thanks for your time, bro.
Oh, no worries. Anytime, man.
I don't know. This is one of those things where if you take it to the track at the limit, what is that going to feel like? What are the handling characteristics going to feel like? Because effectively here, it's not, and this is just the reality of a lot of RWBs as well, the suspension geometry has not been changed here. So the offset of the wheels has been changed. There's a lot more mechanical grip, yes, but it's been accomplished through wheel and tire specs and not suspension geometry. Now you could combine the two in a perfect world, and obviously you could still do that. The sky's the limit with this. And a car that, yeah, I'm kind of nervous driving on the street because the paint is so nice. I'm behind a truck right now, a dump truck. And to get a rock chip on Coleton's car today would not be how I want this day to end. So I'm gonna finish it off here. Thanks guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go follow Coleton. And if you haven't already, check out the Mazda Familia video we did. Really interesting car. All-wheel drive, kind of rally homologated car almost. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. What do you smell?
Such a good smell.
Yeah. A little bit of brakes, a little exhaust.
A little bit of everything.
Dude, she's fast. Fast. I was not expecting that.
All up in the DMs for the feature. I know they ain't talking about free. Shorty, no lie, no leap. I ain't gonna lose no sleep. You don't have any.